Murder is one of the most serious offenses recognized in English criminal law. It represents the unlawful killing of a human being with a specific and culpable state of mind. Not all killings amount to murder, and the distinction depends on both the act and the intention behind it. In English law, murder is defined as the unlawful killing of a human being under the Queen's peace, with the intention to kill or the intention to cause grievous bodily harm. This definition contains two essential components: the act itself, known as the actus reus, and the mental state, known as the mens rea. The actus reus of murder requires a voluntary act or omission that causes death. The killing must be unlawful, meaning it is not justified by self-defense, necessity, or any legal excuse. The victim must be a living human being, and the defendant's conduct must be a substantial and operating cause of death. This principle can be seen in R versus White. In that case, the defendant poisoned his mother, but she died of a heart attack before the poison took effect. Although he intended to kill, his act did not cause the death. He was therefore guilty of attempted murder, not murder. This case demonstrates that causation is essential. Turning to the mental element, the mens rea of murder requires intention. The defendant must intend either to kill or to cause grievous bodily harm. This second form of intention is enough to satisfy the requirement even if death was not specifically desired. This principle was confirmed in R versus Vickers. During a burglary, Vickers assaulted an elderly woman who later died from her injuries. He may not have intended to kill her, but he clearly intended serious harm. The court held that this intention was sufficient for murder. Direct intention occurs when death or serious harm is the defendant's aim or purpose. However, intention can also be indirect or oblique when the defendant realizes that death will be a virtually certain consequence of their actions. The courts explained this in R versus Wooleen. The defendant threw his baby towards a hard surface, causing its death. The House of Lords held that a jury may find intention where death or serious injury is a virtual certainty and the defendant appreciates this outcome. Another critical aspect of murder is that not all unlawful killings amount to murder. Some cases involve a lack of intention, diminished responsibility, loss of control, or reckless conduct. These circumstances may reduce liability to manslaughter. One example is R versus Cunningham, which demonstrates the difference between intention and recklessness. Although this case concerns malicious damage, it shaped the understanding of reckless conduct and helps distinguish murder from lesser offenses. Partial defenses to murder also play a role in reducing liability. For example, in R versus Deichmann, the defendant suffered an abnormality of the mind. Although he killed the victim, his mental state reduced the charge from murder to manslaughter under diminished responsibility. These cases show that determining murder requires careful analysis of both conduct and intention. It is not simply the taking of a life that defines the offense, but the presence of a specific mental state combined with an unlawful act that causes death. Murder remains the most serious form of criminal homicide because it reflects a deliberate or knowingly fatal state of mind. Understanding the doctrine helps explain why some killings result in murder convictions, why others become manslaughter, and why intention is at the heart of the offense. A murder conviction carries a mandatory life sentence, reflecting the gravity of intentionally ending another person's life. Understanding these principles ensures a clear grasp of how the law approaches one of its most serious crimes. Thank you for watching. Subscribe and click the notification bell for more legal topics, powerful discussions, and exciting new videos coming your way.